Yellowstone National Park. Yellowstone National Park spreads across 350 square miles and is one of the biggest national parks in the U.S. It is also the first national park in the world. Most parts are located in Wyoming, but it also spreads into parts of Montana and Idaho. Some of Yellowstone's features include dramatic canyons, alpine rivers, forests, hot springs, and beautiful geysers. People come from all over to see the amazing thermal activity it has to offer. Yellowstone is located at 44 degrees north and 110 degrees west. This puts it in the Feral Cell Zone. And in Yellowstone, there aren't any major bodies of water that would affect the climate or weather. Yellowstone has one of the biggest bison herds in America. In the 1800s, sport hunting and market hunting nearly caused the extinction of the herd. In recent years, they've seen a major comeback in the population, and now there are nearly 5,000 bisons living in the Yellowstone area. These massive animals can weigh up to 2,000 pounds and are extremely dangerous and agile and can run up to 30 miles an hour when provoked. Bison have very strong neck muscles to help them move snow and debris out of the way. They have excellent sense of smell, hearing, and sight. They are perfectly adapted to survive in the climate of Yellowstone. Yellowstone has a continental subarctic climate, meaning they have long and very cold winters and short, cool, moderately tempered summers. Most places with continental subarctic climates are landlocked and not affected by the ocean. In Yellowstone, the winters can be below freezing, while summers can sometimes get to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. The Rocky Mountains in Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, and the White Mountains of New Hampshire all have continental subarctic climates. Another animal that lives in Yellowstone is black and gray wolves. Wolves are highly social animals and live in packs of 10. The packs are made up of highly social family, and each and every wolf has its own personality and rules in the pack. In Yellowstone, 90% of the diet consists of elk, but they can also kill bison. Many animals feed on things that wolves kill, as well. These animals include ravens, magpies, and invertebrates. Sometimes bears will attempt to scare off wolves and usually succeed. In the 1900s, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services put the gray wolf on the endangered list. After that, Yellowstone and 3 other locations were designated wolf recovery areas. In 1995, 41 wolves were introduced into Yellowstone, and the population was 228 in 2015. The population has fluctuated in the past years, but has stayed pretty consistent in recent years. Wolves live 4 to 5 years and weigh 100 to 130 pounds. They have thick coats that help them stay warm in winters. Like the wolf, the lynx was listed on the threatened list and the threatened species list in the 2000s. Parts of the park were considered critical habitats for the lynx, and the park was working to protect and prevent the lynx population from decreasing anymore. There are only 112 lynx left in the park, but they've been taken off the threatened species list in recent years. Lynxes enjoy the higher elevations in the park and aren't seen often because of that. Yellowstone's elevations range from 6,000 feet to 10,000 feet, with the Rocky Mountains running right through the park. There are tons of different elevations from the highest point, Eagle Peak, to the lowest point, Reese Creek. Elevations result in cold nights and more snow in the winter, and cold nights and beautiful days in the summer. The lynxes are also nocturnal, so very few have been seen in the park by visitors. They can weigh 16 to 35 pounds, and they eat mostly snowshoe hare and birds. Yellowstone cutthroat trout. These species of fish are one of the most important aquatic animals in Yellowstone. They provide food sources to 20 species of birds and mammals, along with river otters and mink. These amazing fish can be found in Yellowstone River, Snake River, and Falls River, which all run through the park. They are called cutthroat because they have a pink, orange, or red marking below their jaw, making it look like they have a cut throat. However, pure cutthroats are becoming endangered due to low water during drought and other non-native fish spreading diseases and taking resources. So the jet stream is the major wind pattern seen in Yellowstone. The jet stream brings cold water from Canada, or not cold water, brings cold air from Canada and warm air from the Pacific Ocean, making Montana have its climate and weather patterns. Yellowstone National Park is a geothermal area, meaning that magma can be as little as 40 miles from the surface in some places. Yellowstone is unique because of that, for most of its waters are moderately warmer. This affects what can live in the waters as well as their adaptations. The geysers that erupt only change the temperature in the area that the geyser is. So if there is a big group of geysers or a lake, then the temperature around there is going to be generally warmer. Moose. The moose has adapted well for Yellowstone's climate, and from its thick coat for long cold winters to its antlers for fighting, the moose has got it all. Moose shed antlers every December to March, but they grow back in the spring, and they're usually bigger than the rack they had before. The furry skin, known as velvet, helps nourish the new antlers, but once the moose rubs it off, birds and other rodents feed on the velvet and the dropped antlers, for they're packed full of nutrition and protein. Yupperoo!